everybody. Welcome to another edition of the original Free Kick. My name is Etienne Marcel Pertut, founder and publisher and editor of the Sports Inquirer. And on this edition of the original Free Kick, we're going to play the audio and video from Atlanta United goalkeeper Brad Guzan and newly appointed manager Ronny Daila as the team prepares to host Montreal in its 2025 MLS season opener on February 22nd. So we're looking very forward to previewing that match and really the season overall for Atlanta as they get ready for the upcoming campaign. As always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, thesportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look us up under Etienne Marcel Pertut or the Sports Inquirer. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. So Atlanta United is coming off of a campaign where they reached the second round of the MLS. Well, yes, the second round in the MLS playoffs, the quarters, including a win over Miami but they ended up losing in the season. Season conclude. Overall, Atlanta had a lot of changes. New manager Ronny Daila comes into the team, replacing Rob Valentino. Miguel Almiron, among others, is a new member to the squad. And just been a lot of moving parts for Atlanta as they get ready for the 2025 campaign. Here is Brad Guzan, the goalkeeper, longest tenured, consistent player with the squad. I gotta say consistent because Miguel Almiron is back with the team, and he was part of the first squad, first ever team for Atlanta. He's now back in Atlanta from a stint with Newcastle in the English Premier League. So Brad is the longest tenured, consistent player on the squad, and former captain. Assume he'd be captain again. As we're recording this, the announcement has not been made, but he probably will be the team captain once again. And let's get to Brad, his preview of the upcoming season, and a lot more as the team gets ready for the upcoming campaign.
As I've always said, with any preseason, right, you're always looking forward to that first game, and for us to be able to play it at home and in front of a massive crowd, it's that much more exciting.
Is there anything, is there one particular thing you learned last year that kind of reminded the guys this year about either positive or negative? Do this or don't do this?
No, listen, it's every year is its own year, right? It's a different group of players. It's a different, you can almost go as far, different mentality, different coaching staff, obviously. Everything's different. So it's not taking, hey, we have to do this differently than we did last year or whatnot. It's a new year. It's a new group, ready to get going.
Are you captain?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but that doesn't change. It doesn't change how I play. It doesn't change anything within the group. So, yeah.
And not to aggravate you, but are you playing for another year, or is this?
Doug, we've not even started the season, and you're already asking me. That was going to be your answer. Exactly. Next question.
All right.
Good.
That's great.
Mental-wise, how is the team feeling for this first game?
Yeah, obviously we had a good preseason in terms of good games, a good understanding of how the manager wants us to play, different areas of what we're going to try to be successful in. But yeah, it's mentally going into it. Like I said, it's exciting. It's a sense of readiness and one we're looking forward to. Yeah, I mean, listen, last year we played 4, 4 or 5. The principles are more or less the same. Ultimately, it's 11v11, and so those tendencies of certain individuals of what's being asked of the manager. We have an understanding as individuals, but also collectively, and so that part's been good.
Okay, and then last one, a few comments of Emmanuel Ladd. How do you see him in the practice? How do you expect him to play this season?
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously he's a player with a huge amount of quality and immense ability to be strong with the ball. He's got unbelievable pace, and one that we're excited that he's on our side.
Right, your ninth MLS season. How does it feel to be doing that so late?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it feels great. You know, I've always said, you know, I feel good, and it's an honor to be able to represent this club, represent this city, and Atlanta is a place where my family and I call home, and we've settled in, and you know, in all areas about this club, we love it, and for me to be able to, like I said, to represent this club, it's a huge honor, and so that part doesn't change.
I know every year's different, but do you feel like there's just so much more like optimism going into the season with the addition of Miggy and Latte and things like that? Just the expectations overall.
Yeah, of course, but at the same time, you manage those, right? And I think a lot of that talk and discussion comes from the outside, and us as a group, you know, we're continuing to build, and it may not be perfect on Saturday at times, and that's okay. And it's how we get through those moments throughout the 90 minutes, and how we deal with those moments, and ultimately we want to continue to build and grow as the season goes on, and those guys are certainly going to help us do that.
Looking at who wasn't out there today, potentially 3 and 4 preseason presumed starters may not be on the field on Saturday on the back line. How do you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, whether it's now or in the middle of the season, there's going to be injuries, there's going to be, I'm sure, suspensions at some point, right? It's part of the season, and you've got to be able to deal with that. You've got next guy up mentality, and that part doesn't change. And you know, I think the manager probably spoke to you guys about getting guys minutes throughout preseason, and so everyone feels ready and able to contribute. So we're looking forward.
You keep hearing the sentiment, like around just hearing guys or hearing other people talk, like, "Oh man, we want it to be like it was back in 2018, back where like that." You want to hear what it was like that. Kind of, what can you guys do to make it back like 2018? Right, to feel like that.
Win a trophy. That'd be nice. You know, listen, you see those comments, you hear those comments. Of course, ultimately, that's what 2018 represented, right? It represented winning MLS Cup, and that's ultimately what we want to do. And how we get there is going to be a process. It's not going to happen in week 1. It's not going to happen in week 6 or whatever. And we now need to, as a group, continue to build and grow and learn individually, collectively, and together with the staff. And I think if we do that, then we can have consistent performances week to week. That put us in a position to be able to compete for trophies, and ultimately that's what we want to do it, but that's what every team in this league wants to do, right? So you know, hopefully we can get back there.
What has Matej Flick brought to the team on the field, and maybe as importantly off the field in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a guy that's been around football, right? He's been in big locker rooms, big leagues, big clubs. Somebody that understands what the game is about. And so, you know, in the locker room, he's outgoing, obviously can fit right in with us, and in terms of joining and gelling with the rest of the guys. And I think that part's huge, especially as a central midfielder and somebody that is asked a lot of on the field. And when it comes to on the field, he's somebody that can do what's being asked of him, both from an attacking standpoint and a defensive standpoint. And he understands the game. And when you have people in the middle of the pitch that understand the game, it makes things a lot easier what's happening around them and with other guys on the field. So, yeah, he contributes in both places for sure.
I'd love to get your thoughts on MLS is going into year 30. You started Chivas USA. Not with us anymore, sadly.
Rest in peace.
Yes. But how do you look back at that time and look at the league today and how it's changed?
Big change, huge change. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think back to, you know, not to give my age away, right? But I tell some of these stories to some of these guys, like, they don't know what commercial flights are. They don't know what, you know, not spending 4 days in a city is, and, you know, having connecting flights, and you know, it was just that back in the day. And it's exciting to see where the leagues come from. It's exciting to see where we are. And I think most importantly, it's exciting to see where the league can go. And so for me, that's the most important part, because I've been very fortunate to be a part of this league and see the growth firsthand. But as a fan of the game, I'm excited to see the sport grow in this country, and I think the potential is through the roof. And so that part is really encouraging.
Bring folks to Montreal. How tough is it to prepare for a season opener? Obviously, you've played them before, but every team has moving parts and changes in the offseason. Just scouting, preparing, how difficult is that for preparing for an opponent?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're doing the same, right? So it's the same for them as it is for us. And you try and look at preseason games and just kind of see what did they change, what haven't they changed. Ultimately, personnel-wise, there's always going to be changes, but the players that are returning, right? You understand and know their tendencies a little bit, and you try to put the focus and emphasis on ourselves, because we believe in our group, and if we can do that, then we give ourselves half a chance against anyone in this league, or more than half a chance, and so that part's exciting.
What do you see from Montreal and just what they preparing for them for Saturday?
I mean, listen, in terms of their attack, in terms of their personnel, right? We know they can cause us issues, especially with their pace, and one that as we have the ball and we're attacking and the attacking third, we've got to be defensively, clued in and switched on, and mentally not take breaks and know where their guys are in terms of allowing them too much space to run into or run with the ball.
All right, and that was Brad Guzan previewing Atlanta United's upcoming contest against Montreal in the season opener. He touched on a few things, really the return of Almiron and the warm reception he's going to receive, some of the other new players coming onto the team, Ronny being the new manager of the squad, and really his time with Atlanta. Technically, we got the release earlier today as we recorded about the contract terms of all the players. Well, not the numbers as far as how much they're making, but the length of the contracts, because it has to be disclosed to the MLS office before the start of the regular season. Well, we'll just say that before the start of the regular season matches tomorrow, there's not necessarily going to be. We'll put it this way: for the sake of our recording, they need to have their finalized roster by the time the games start or the matches start tomorrow. So we actually were able to get that. We got the email about the roster with Brad. Technically, he's a free agent after this year, and there's not even a guarantee as far as a player option or a team option after this season. So this is Doug Roberson from AJC touched on it. I don't know if you heard that, but about will this be his last year, not only with Atlanta United but playing professionally? We don't know. He is in his 40s, I'll put it that way, and so you never know what's going on there. But just his reflections on being in Major League Soccer, in essence, since the inception in the early days, not from his inception, but from the early days, and just see his maturation and development with the squad and everything that's gone on there. So let's get to new manager for Atlanta United, Ronny Daila for the team. Just all of his thoughts going into the new year, and all the thoughts and analysis as he prepares to manage his first regular season contest for Atlanta. Enjoy.
Presume Pedro's not available for Saturday. What's Derek status?
I think Pedro going to start training with us next week, so hopefully, of course, he needs some time now. For 4 weeks. Derek, he got maybe yesterday training, so he went in, and we are a little bit cautious, but we will test him tomorrow and see if it's available for the game.
Okay. HCN, how's his recovery?
Very, very good. He's played now 2045. He's training really well. So whatever happens, we have a very good option.
Okay. Are there going to be any short-term call-ups like Dominic coming up for this one?
Yeah, he's going to be this one.
Okay. And have you named a team captain?
That's a good question. We haven't done that. I think there's nothing to talk about so much. He's already talked with him today. So Brad is naturally going to be our captain, and then we have to find out the second and third. That's good. I haven't told so much about that.
And last one, do the guys look ready? are they ready?
No, I think we have done everything we wanted to do in the preseason. I think we are in a very good place. We've had some good performances. We have had some good improvements. I think we have consistency in what we have done. We look sharp in training. And then I say always that the game has all the answers. So I will answer you after the game if we are ready on it.
With those injuries that we've seen, Ronald Ferdinand and Matt Edwards really step into the form in the preseason. How would you rate what you saw from them in the preseason?
I think very good. Ronald has been better and better through the, and he can play both positions, so that's really important for us. And Matt is just getting better and better. Defensively, I saw earlier what kind of potential he has when you talk about power and speed, and also he's concentrated and a good 1v1. So that also I think is developing himself a lot offensively as well. So I'm looking forward now to see both of them when we come to the real deal.
You've also seen you playing two midfielders behind that number 10 position. What are you expecting from those two players when they're in those roles?
They have two big tasks. That's to protect the team defensively. So they are like the heart of the team. So if somebody is out of position, they have to recover that, and also they have to talk and be leaders. At the same time, they are the players also connect the front players in the offensive play. So they have a very important task. I think maybe the most important, if you can say that, in the team. Of course, without goalkeeper, we're difficult as well. But we in our way of what we want to play, the sixes are connecting offensive.
Do you have the starting 11 get already all down?
There's always doubts because it's so many that is in good shape. As we talked about last time, it's the width in the squad is very good. So what it gives me is more about how can we change the game. Also, what kind of scenarios inside the game can happen. And of course, it's competition also in some places.
What's kind of your expectations from that team? Because you're talking about, you hope he's ready for a full 90 minutes, or do you kind of see him going in?
For me, that doesn't matter so much. It's just go hard, and then we'll see how long it lasts. For me, it's not about the quantity, the minutes. It's about the quality in the minutes you do, and then hopefully in the end he will have 90 minutes. But again, the competition team is good. So we have Jamal standing behind him also. So that's two players that really can control.
What are you looking forward to in just a new club, new home team, new stadium? What are you looking forward to?
Just get started, I think. It's so many new impressions every time when you come to new places, and now it's been really good now. The first 6 weeks I've been here, 5-6 weeks, and now finally meet our supporters, and at the same time also come to our home stadium. That will be a moment you will remember the rest of your life. That's what we are lucky with football and to do this thing, is that you experience things that not many else is capable to do.
Saba said top 4 was his goal or expectation. What is yours for the club this season?
I think that is a good goal. We want to win everything we are into. Of course, that's how it is. But we have to also be have some really spinning things. We were number 9 last year. We were I don't know how many points, 26, 27 points behind the number 1. So take step by step, I think, is important. And if we can, it's a very tough conference as well. So if we go into top 4, we will put ourselves in a really good position to go and fight for the trophy. Because the big one is coming in the end of the season. Then we can use the whole season also to develop ourselves too, and be on our best when we're really
Coach, don't have a big team meeting the night before with your guys, or a message or anything like that before the season opener?
We have. I think it's important to not make it bigger than this, because it's every time you come in a new season, everybody's excited. So it's more about the other way to try to make it normalize it, and it's 3 points. It's nothing more into it. It's the 27th game is as important as this game tomorrow, but it's always something special when you meet your supporters again and you get going again. So for me, it's more about keep focus on what's important, and that's to be prepared for the game. Because if we have a good performance, then everything gonna fall in place.
Let's turn our attention to Montreal themselves. What do you see from them, and how difficult is it to prepare for an opponent in the first match when everyone's not played a regular season match yet?
I think both of they will say the same with us. They're very clear in how they play, and they're a very good team. They're very difficult to play against. You have to be really organized if you're gonna get a good outcome of the game, because they play very open. They're a team that is short passing. They're pressing you man against man. They do things that we need to be very switched on and be very organized in everything we do to be ready to get the result we want. So it's no problem. I think we have seen 3-4 of the training matches. They have the same coach from last year, so maybe it's a little bit more difficult for them because I was not there. But I think they have got their connections to get what they need.
What is the attitude that you expect from the players in the first game?
Attitude is about going out and enjoy themselves. That's the number one, to go out and I don't want to have overthinking. Go out and do what we agreed to do and leave everything on the pitch. If you do those things with a smile around your mouth, then you put yourself in the best position to.
All right, and that was Ronny previewing the upcoming contest against Montreal. And as said, new manager, new players incorporated into the lineup. Injuries already starting, with Stien as defender, him possibly not playing. So we don't really know what to expect from Atlanta this first match, really the first few matches. But we'll be following the contest and providing our post-match analysis when it takes place, after it takes place. As always, to follow everything that we do, go to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look us up under Sports Inquirer or Etienne Marcel Pursuit. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Once again, this is Etienne Marcel Pursuit, editor, publisher, founder of the Sports Inquirer. Thanks for listening or watching this edition of the original Free Kick. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.